everyone, welcome to Seasonal Designs and DIYs. Today I have 3 rustic DIYs, usually mostly Dollar Tree items. On the first DIY, I'm using stickers from the Dollar Tree. This plaque I bought at Dollar General for $1. And these 3 paints, they are Waverly Chalk and Plaster, and Burnt Umber and Territorial Beige by Apple Barrel. First I try to use my blow dryer to get these metal pieces off, but there's little staples holding these 2 metal pieces together. So I grab my little screwdriver and I just pry underneath the staples until I get it off. I'm fumbling around trying to see if I can pick the paper off the front. It was on pretty good, so I just decided to go ahead and paint it with my Waverly Chalk paint and plaster. I believe I put 2 coats on this and then realized it was kind of bubbling up and you could still see the wording. So I decided to force the paper off at that point. So I have done this in the past with the MDF board. I wet down any paper and use my scraper to just scrape it all off. I was going to scrape it all off, and then I realized I really liked the look and texture that the paper gave, so I just gave it a quick dry and used the Waverly Chalk paint and plaster again just to give it a distressed coating over top of this paper, and I love the way this turned out. Next, I'm going to use the Territorial Beige, and I don't want these to be shiny. I want them to be rustic and like rusty. So I gave them a quick coat of that, and then I'm also going to paint the MDF piece that is going underneath of these little metal pieces of my roof. Then I'm taking the Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to make it look rusted. Concentrating on the edges, mainly just stippling with my paintbrush. There, I'm showing you. And then I'm just going to, now I'm going to take the Burnt Umber and distress the outside. In case you can see, I wanted it to blend in. Now I'm going to take those, the MDF piece first with some wood glue and my crazy glue gel, super glue gel, and put on the roof. Here you're going to notice I messed up. I'm showing you here. You don't have to go all the way. So I'm just getting a baby wipe and just wiping off that excess off the back. And then I'm going to use the super glue gel to glue the metal pieces on. And with this, you only put the gel glue on the raised areas when it's facing you, of course. Or it's not going to, it's just going to be a waste of your product. Just hold it in place until it sets up. Then I have these Dollar Tree stickers, and you're going to see, I'm going to play around just a few minutes just trying to figure out what I want, where I want to place it. The first stickers are almost a boho vibe to me. I'm just making sure that I have it centered. Press it down real good. I did not need any excess glue on this one. The other one, it's actually raised. It has that foam piece, and I just put some hot glue on the back of that. And then I'm going to take this jute, and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom 3 or 4 times, just for some added texture. And that's the way it turned out. Same thing, using the Dollar Tree stickers, the Dollar Tree crate. I was going to use that burlap trim. I decided not to use that. I'm taking a baby wipe and my Waverly Antique Wax, or Antique, Waverly Wax and Antique. That's kind of a mouthful. I'm going to do everything but the inside. There was no reason. Then I'm taking the plaster and I'm just going to distress it with my chippy brush. And once you get it, I mean, you can do this to your liking as much as you want. Okay, so then I'm going to take these stickers, and this pack has they're supposed to mimic the little metal corner pieces. They were a copper color, so I just took my burnt umber and painted over them, gave them a quick dry. They also had these hinges, and that's what you're seeing me use right here. I'm just using my tape measure just to make sure they're pretty even on the box. And then I'm going to take the corner pieces and I'm going to put one in each corner. Once I get the corner pieces on, I'm looking at it and decide it looks like a box, which was what I intended on it, but it needed a hinge or a latch. I had picked these pieces up from Hobby Lobby last year sometime. I'm sure they were probably on sale. And you get 2 in the pack. And these are metal. They're very, very nice little pieces. And they come with little screws. And that's what you're going to see. I'm going to measure again just to make sure that I have center, or as close to the center as possible. And then I'm just going to use my little screwdriver, or Phillips head screwdriver, that I was showing you is also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to screw both of those pieces on. Isn't that cute? I love this piece. So I was looking at it and it looked a little plain. So I got these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. I had not used them yet on any of my projects. So I just decided to use this love. And I'm just going to center it as evenly as I can, just by eyeballing it. And taking my little Cricut spatula or whatever, scraper. I got that one from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use it and scratch on, and they turn out so nice. I did go back. It had a sheen to it, so I did go back and put a little sandpaper on the top of it just so it kind of looked a little distressed. Now this is the last project, and everybody has made these. I so wanted to use that burlap trim, but I just couldn't find to fit it in anywhere. This tag I got, I believe it was either Walmart or Dollar General. Taking my baby wipe, which had dried out by now, and the Waverly Wax and Antique, and I'm just going to give it a coat on all the sides. You see, I threw my baby wipe away. I forgot to do the back and the sides. But I got it. Once again, I forgot. I'm going to be staining these beads. I just used the baby wipe and the antique wax, and I did spray some water in the cap just to thin it down just a little bit more. And since I love that transfer, the first one, the rub-on transfer, I decided I was going to use one for my tag. Once again, just using my little scraper tool. And then you're going to see I'm lining up what pattern I want. And if you haven't guessed, we're making a garland, or is that what's a beaded garland? Now I'm doubling up my jute twine because I don't like the strings of the jute to be hanging out or have to tuck them up in anything. And this is why I decided to go with one bead that I did not stain, and then 5 beads that were stained, and I just repeated this pattern over and over until I got to the end. Natural. That's what I was trying to think of. And then I'm debating like what I want to put on the end, and I just decided to keep it with the jute. And I wrapped it around, I believe it was like 25 times. And then when I finally did get it off the picture frame, I thought this is too long. So I folded it in half. You'll see me figuring it out. And then I split my ends there and tie a knot right in the center on the underneath side, so you never see the strings. And then I just wrap it around a few times. I am using the trick with the loop. I seen on somebody on YouTube. I don't know. Here I'm just cutting all my loops. And then I'm going to trim it down, make it as even as I can. And that's it. I love the way these projects turned out, and I hope you do too. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like my videos. I would really appreciate it. Let me know what you think down in the comments.